All right, you happy campers, welcome to Campers Camping in the Outdoors, and we're at George L. Smith State Park outside Twin Cities in Georgia, which is a small little town kind of in middle Georgia off of I-16. We got to camp here for the weekend. It was a treat. We didn't have any kids with us, and it was just me and my wife, and somehow I convinced her to camp in my mobile hunting cabin instead of the fifth wheel. Right in front of you is the group shelter. It's got a really nice big terrace that overlooks the mill and the little waterfall from the mill. That building right there is the general store and the campground check-in. The campground's got about 24 campsites. It's not a real big one. It's a single loop, one bathhouse, shower house, and there's a playground out there. And off to the right is the lake. Lake's a little bit over 400 acres. It's pretty nice. There's a boat ramp up here, and we'll get off this road and I'll give you a better look at the boat ramp. I think there's a motor restriction on the lake. I think it was about 10 horsepower, but I don't remember exactly. But you could probably see it on their website. It's not a paved boat ramp, it's dirt. So I don't think you're putting anything big in there, more like a bass boat or a canoe. But it looks like it's got a lot of fish in there. Every corner of that lake's got an automatic fish feeder going off, which is pretty neat. So we didn't do any fishing while we were out there. We did a little bit of hiking. There's a half-a-mile hiking trail that runs along this road, and there's a 3-mile loop on the other side of the grain mill by the river. The half-mile hiking trail goes from the campground to the general store, and then you can pick up the other trail right from there. But it's a nice, easy drive going from the general store to the campground, and it's real quiet out here. It was really beautiful. We had a great weekend. It's the middle of January right now. Excuse me. So it's pretty nice. I think one night it got down to 14 degrees, but we had a pretty good campfire every night that we were out here. You can see the boardwalk for the half-a-mile hiking trail. It goes over the lake a little bit, but it's a really easy trail. Not a lot of uneven terrain or rooty terrain, so I would say it's pretty good for most anyone. And as we make this bend, the entrance to the campground is right up there. It's a little bit hard to see, but you'll see it in the video. We're slowing down and looking from the road at the one buddy site they have, and you actually park right next to each other. It's really wide, and I imagine you could fit two 30-foot campers in there. It's pretty big. Really nice campsite, so if you and a buddy want to go camping, that'd be a great spot to check out. But the fence runs along, and then the entrance is kind of tucked away, so you got to pay attention. If you come in at night, it's going to be a little bit hard. You want to go slow once you start opening up and seeing that fence running along the road. And then the road into the campground is one way, so as soon as you come in, you're going to veer to the right. You'll see one of the camp host sites there, and then after that, on the interior of the loop, you'll have a lot of pull-through sites, and I think there's one handicap site that's paved right next to the bathhouse. We just are turning in here. You can see it was kind of tucked away. And then you're greeted with the American flag and the Georgia flag. Gotta love these state parks. That's awesome. And right here, as we round the little bend, there's one of the camp host sites. And then we'll go straight towards the buddy site, and then the half-mile walking trail entrance is right next to the buddy site. And then all the sites, or I don't want to say all the sites, the majority of the sites on the outside of the loop are waterfront sites. You've got great view and access to the water. If you've got a canoe or something, you could just pull it right up to your site and then hop on it and go fishing first thing in the morning. But right there is the buddy site. And like I said, it's really long, and really wide at the back. You can see where you could fit 2 campers pretty good. If you've got tons of slide outs, you might want to check it out in advance. But all the sites are gravel and very level. The only thing that I didn't particularly care for, and it wasn't a problem this trip, was going from the road into the site. There was a little bit of a drop down, a little bit of a lip, and it wasn't bad because we had my little enclosed trailer. But if I had the 5th wheel, I think I would have liked it less. And then here's another pull through site. The sites are really big. You've got a lot of space between you and your neighbor, and the sites themselves are really good. I'll show you our site. We were in site 15, and it was a great site. We had a little, almost like a terrace or a deck right on our site where we were right on the water, and the fire pit is right there, and it's really wide. So we had our chairs and a table down there and got to drink our coffee in the morning and hang out. There's our site we're passing. You'll see that later. 14's another pull-through site on the interior of the loop. You can see the water behind all these sites. But all in all, it was a really nice campground. We'll definitely go back. The bathhouse had a men's and a women's side, and then it had 2 family stalls with showers in the family stall. They were really big. The men's room was extremely clean, 2 shower stalls, and it was never dirty. They kept up on that constantly, and there was a pretty good amount of people at the campsite for the weekend we were here. There's the bathhouse. There's laundry facilities there, but we didn't use any of them, so I can't tell you exactly where they are. I think they're on the other side of the building that we're looking at. And then you can see the line of people for the dump station, and then right in front of the dump station is the dumpsters. There's 1 dump station, and this is ours. You can see the little drop down from the pavement to the dirt. Very long campsite, very level. If you were in a actual camper and not a enclosed trailer turned camper, you would have no problem leveling out. But for some reason, I was able to convince my wife to take the enclosed trailer, so she got to see what it was like when I go off on my hunting trips. But there's our picnic table. There's a couple steps, and it's probably about a 2-foot drop down to that little platform down there. And it was just a great site, a lot of privacy. We're right on the water. We could hear splashing at night and things kind of moving around, which was pretty neat. We didn't really do any fishing. We were more just relaxing and having a nice time and hiking. Although my wife did walk on that down tree for some great pictures, and that was kind of cool. This is the mill. There's a museum on the inside you can walk through. They've got the little dam right there. There was a guy fishing in it. Looked like he was catching pretty good number of fish. I didn't bother him too much. He looked like he was having a really good time. And then behind me is that group shelter, and you can see the terrace right there. That would be neat for a nice family reunion or something. And here's some trail magic on the 3-mile trail. Someone had put these little water wheels in here, which was pretty neat. Hope you enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe.